Is it working now? Is it working now? All right, here we go. It's working now. I think. All right. It looks like it's showing up now. All right. I had to unplug that microphone and then replug it back in because I had to use it for something. All right, we're not doing that today, tonight. Rather, it's yeah, it's an evening. Whoa, we got a Q-rated run or something. Holy boosh. It's let's see. Today's not July. What am I thinking? I'm stuck in July again. It's August 15th, 2022 in the evening. What we got going on here? This is gonna be a hard one for sure to try to defeat against everybody today. Nice little lighthearted run though. That looks pretty nice. That wasn't. Rubber cement. Brimstone. Telekinesis. Holy mantle. And the cat's head. This is gonna be a quick one. I can feel it in my bones. We're going over with Isaac, huh? All right, we're gonna do some exploration for sure. Oh, really? Oh, I bet there's gonna be a lot of people with high scores today. A lot of people. So there's gonna be a lot more competition than what it normally is. Where we can find all those secret rooms, super secret rooms. Get the boss rush, get the hush, and don't get injured once. And do it fast, and a bunch of a myriad of things, and we can get the first place. Just kidding, we'll never get the first place. Never. I would have to get up the crack butt of dawn, go at it, and like just go every single room, every just little nook and cranny, just every damn square inch of this game to even make a dent of possibly pulling this off. Queen of Hearts. Wonderful. It's in the works. It just works. Work. Oh. Well, I already lost my placement by like 1,000 right now by buying that bomb and then wasting it. Soiled it. Anyway, what's I've been up to? Well, I was trying to record Isaac on Thursday, and I found out my OBS wasn't on. By the time I was going to go in to turn it on, I was like, you know what? I've got other things I got to do. I can't be doing this. So I couldn't. So I didn't play for most of a week, really. I had things to do. I got new shoes. My ankles and stuff. My ankles, my knees are a lot better because I guess I went to a different shoe store this time, right? So the previous pair of shoes I got, they were a gift essentially, which was nice, but they lacked a lot of ankle support and a myriad of things, and it didn't have that much cushion to it, which is like, okay, well, I mean, shoes are shoes. At least it held out for about 4 months. I mean, because like I did a lot of walking and stuff, and I tore some of the stuff out of it. Not on purpose or anything. It's just so much walking wears it out. But I was going through this other place, this other shoe place the other day, and they were talking to me about, or the one worker there, employee there was like, yeah, the shoes you have right now are like, you know, didn't have ankle support, cheap material, things like that. And so I wanted me to try these different shoes on. And I talked about like, he asked me if I use any inserts. It's like, yeah, I use like Dr. Scholl's or whatever, like this rubber thing. And he was telling me that like the only thing that Dr. Scholl's really does is like, it just kind of has padding and then it just gets pushed down and then gets flattened and stuff, which makes sense, I guess. Not so much arch support. And so he wanted me to try actual arch support with the new shoes. And I noticed it was a little off at first, but I haven't really had any knee pains or just weird pains around my legs or anything like that. The only thing I've had with pains was like the shins, but that might have been just adjusting to the shoes and to the what else? The shoes and to the padding. Because he did say something about like I should take it easy before I go running, which I did go running today. Because I might feel it in the calves, which surprisingly I didn't. So I'm thinking that might have been just like, in some cases with people, they might not notice the calves so much if they got improper shoes, and then when they got the proper shoes, they feel them more. Rather, I had the opposite problem. I was having more pains in my shins. And I went out walking for like several hours the day before, right? And so, in my previous shoes. And I was having like lower back pain and stuff like that later on in the day, and just things like that. Pain in my knees to some regard, and ankles and stuff like that. Because like when I go out running, I feel pain in my ankles sometimes. And for a while, I was like thinking to myself, well, maybe it's because like I'm landing funny. For some reason, I'm not healing quickly like I'm supposed to. And today is like none of that. My ankles and lower back and all that, knees are fine. Shins were, yeah, painful, but I think that's just, again, adjusting to things. I'm like, my God. They knew what they were doing. With talking, just the guy knew like everything about like shoes and stuff like that, arch supports, whatever. He had like all these different variety of shoes to choose from. And at first, we were looking. He wanted me to look at the diabetic shoe, which I said to him like, I need something for running. I don't need a diabetic shoe. So he got me these. I mean, they look okay. They look a little weird, or just a little weird, but it's whatever. As long as they're tennis shoes, which they seem like as though they are, it's fine. And so, yeah, I went running today. I ran on coffee instead of food again, but this time I think I ran sooner than what I usually did. So that performance kind of suffered, and also, like I said before, the shin thing was hurting my, yeah, the shin thing was hurting. I meant to say, like, my shins were in pain. Not on fire, but in pain. Not like a super amount of pain, just an annoying kind of pain. But I definitely noticed that I had a better time running today. Like, I might have had like a little bit of pain elsewhere maybe, but that might have been just my body, again, getting used to it. I might have been still in pain from walking in those other shoes for a while. Let's see. I'm going to go for Compass, by the way. Out of those two, honestly, Compass is going to be pretty useful. Of course, you're wasting the money, so therefore you don't get the extra points, and you're wasting time, so therefore you're wasting points. Oh my goodness gracious. The world's going to end. Well, there's no item rooms on this run. Okay. I just realized that. But yeah, we were just talking about different shoe stuff and everything, and I'm like, man. Thank goodness I found you and your business. Alright. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to use Perthrow. Yeah, that's flight. Probably be useful, honestly, now I think about it. But let's get dangerous. Oh boy, here we go. Worth it. Worth it. Worth it. Okay. Oh, I see that. Super secret room. Maybe I should have went there. Whatever. Now, even though I picked up an extra item here, secret rooms are going to be a lot easier to find in super secret rooms. Man, a lot of empty rooms here. Red key, huh? Yeah. And here's my reasoning. Exploration bonus. I mean, I did not mean to just so happen to find that, but whatever. I think I'm okay for health for now. Thanks, Satan. And we gotta get the boss rush too. So we don't want to. Well, you know what? Let's get these. Generate some flies, speed up the killing process here. There's like hardly anything in these rooms. And we got the fallen crawling onto my fallen skin. All right. Holy shit, motherfucker! Cornered me. Well, looks like we are completely last place right now, ladies and germs. The game wants to corner me like that. And definitely not my way of playing, that's for sure. I had nothing to do with that. That's for sure. You can't prove it though, because I'm that great. All right, we're just gonna go in here just for exploration. Oh, almost got me there, little sunny boy. A little poop platter. Yeah, so I had those shoes on, and I went walking at first that day, and then... Yeah, that day, and then I did a little bit more walking yesterday. And I did a little bit today, but then it was not as much as like the running today, so... Yeah. No, I'm not taking that. Although, wouldn't it be funny? Perhaps there could be some weird combo I'm gonna find or something. Well, now I think about it, probably won't be that easy to find that combo since there's no item rooms. What am I thinking here? Oh, wouldn't it be funny if you just pick it up anyways? And lose points. I soiled this run. Weather's been humid. Believe it or not. I mean, it's just, except for like yesterday, it was just so happened to be nice and cool. I'm like, what the heck? Why can't I have this going on with all the stuff I had to do last few days? Oh my goodness, he's got the lucky penny. He's so lucky to get the lucky penny. Alpha. Yeah, so kudos to that one guy who got me some proper fitting shoes. Without him, like, I'd probably still be experiencing pain and would not put two together. I mean, I guess I should have known better with my shoes that I got as a gift that they were like, all right. Well, looks like your last place again, Sonny. Should have put two together that those shoes wasn't like well designed. Like when I first put those shoes on back in April, they were like cutting into my heels and stuff. He's a genius. How does he even do that? Oh my god. Happenstance. I don't know about that item. Oh, are we on the exo floor? No, we're not. I thought I saw like a tinted skull. Baby bender. The bender that owns all the babies. Oh no. Oh no. What are we gonna do about this? Oh my goodness gracious. What is going on here? Oh good golly gee willikers. Golly gee willikers. Okay. We gotta make it a boosh whoosh. That means we're gonna have to cut back on the exploration here, unfortunately. Due to inflation, inflationary issues, and recession stuff, we are cutting back on exploration. That's right. We're cutting back on exploring these rooms so much. Doesn't mean we're cutting out completely. It may show us different mileage depending on where I'm going. We'll check over here, I guess. Forget me. Oh, no, huh? Like, that would give me more exploration bonus stuff, don't get me wrong, but it pales in comparison to, like, other stuff, like, you know, boss rush, which gives you a bunch of, like, points doing that. Unless they give me, like, Mama Mega in the shop here. Oh, come on! Lady. Here's a credit card. Don't need a credit card to ride this train. I watched Harry Potter last night, too. Sorcerer's Stone. I hadn't seen that in years. I watched it, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stuff that... some stuff that I forgot about, and... now as an adult, it's like, huh. Like, for example, how come Neville decides to be brave in times that he was just basically a freaking coward? And if you don't know about the lore of Neville Longbottom, he pretty much gets the shit into the stick. You know, you look at Harry, right? He got the shit into the stick. I'm gonna spoil some things, I guess, here, I suppose, but so be it. So, you know, Harry gets killed by Voldemort, right? And the whole deal with that. And then Harry survived from Voldemort. And so Neville Longbottom, either his parents got tortured and then get killed, or they got tortured and they're just, like, severely messed up in the head that they can't, like, function properly. And Neville wasn't, like, affected by, you know, a curse like, you know... Neville wasn't affected like the curse, like, you know, whatever. Bibble, huh? Ah, that's funny. Rather, I mean, I don't know. I can't remember the whole lore to it, but, like, essentially Neville is just kind of like Harry in some regards. Only a little bit worse. I say a little bit worse. Because, yeah, like, they were tortured and then killed to death. Assume that's what happened with Neville's parents, if I recall the lore correctly. But yeah, Neville, he, you know, he survives. He wasn't got the mark, you know, the skull, or not skull, the scar and all that stuff. But it's like, okay, so similar like Harry, right? Only he didn't get attacked by Voldemort directly. Okay. Only here's the thing. The reason why Neville is slightly worse, because he doesn't really have, well, he does have, I guess, other family, sort of. I can't remember all the lore to it, but I guess there's a little bit a one-up against Harry with that. but the big thing is people will treat him seriously. Don't treat Neville Longbottoms seriously because he's basically a klutz that forgets all the time. And a coward at that. Oh wow, how dare you say that to a Gryffindor? You know, if it wasn't for Neville, you know, Voldemort would have been destroyed. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh, I know, but I'm just saying. Lore-wise, Neville is worthless. I mean, in certain regards, for the most part. Oh, look at that, a secret room. Oh, teleport card. All right, that works. Yeah, Neville Longbottom. He just whatever. You know what I mean? The only problem, the only difference with Harry and Longbottom, other than those other stuff, is like Neville gets like, you know, habitually treated like shit. I'm not even kidding. I mean, I can't remember much about the stories to some degree, but like, if you watch the movie, like the first movie, for example, it just like, just gets the shit in the stick. And what I mean by that is like, so he gets bullied by the other students, right? Mostly like the Slytherin house and all that stuff. You know, some of us probably know about that. And so, but Harry, he's treated like an idol, at least for most of the series, until like people were like, "Oh, I bet he killed Cedric Diggory." Spoilers, sorry. And all those other mistrust of things going on anymore. I'm hating this shit. Getting hit constantly. I shouldn't pick up the bombs. What was I even thinking? I can't even use like the key for anything. So Neville is technically worse than Harry. Yeah, now I know he's seen a lot of death and he had to sacrifice himself and blah blah blah. He's a Horcrux. Spoilers. All this is spoilers. God, am I really this weak? I should have took Fire Mind or something. I didn't think I was this bad off. And then Neville does something in Deathly Hallows with being brave. He finally actually be brave. Aside from like the fight at Hogwarts or whatever. I forgot what he did. He did some cowardly thing. But then he stand up against Voldemort, which is like, and it kind of got me thinking about like in this first movie, it was like he wasn't being, you know, standing up for himself, and then like, you know, his friends have been pointing out to him that he's not standing up for himself and he should be doing that. And then out in the left field in the end of the movie, he tries doing that with them, and then they just ultimately just freaking roasted him. Not literally, but like they basically petrified him. They gave him sleep paralysis spell on him to deal with his inner demons while he's there, unable to move. Can I say here, I hate boss rush, especially if you don't have like a lot of damage. Sure, I got a cool little synergy, and some kind of damage stuff increases, but it's still kind of miserable. Yeah, and then like it was just cheesy. Like I think it was in the book too about like, well, the points are being added in the last minute. It's like, oh yeah, by the way. See, and here's the thing. I guess you could say like, well, tactically he was kind of useful because If it wasn't for him stand up to his friends, more than he could stand up with his enemies, then they wouldn't win the House Cup. Okay, well, the House Cup, I'll tell you what, Bobby, it's not a life and death situation. I never got to, like, you know, championship stuff when I was playing Little League Baseball. Did I even care? No. It would have been a longer summer for me. I did not like the reworking out in the heat with, like, uniforms and stuff. It's a fun game and stuff. Only where I'm not stretching on the whole time, the whole summer with it. Never Longbottom. Can't believe it. I mean, I guess they have to put something like there's some kind of a redeeming thing for him in order to make him look like he's not worthless. I feel like that's what Dumbledore. Well, I know it's like it's a book, it's a lore and all that, but what I'm saying, it's like, just hypothetical reasons. Dumbledore probably just did that just to, like, make him not feel like he's left out and ignore what he did to try to stop his friends from breaking the rules. Even though his act is pretty much worthless. I mean, literally worthless. You know, it's Harry, Ron, and Hermione who went through this whole system to figure out about the whole Sorcerer's Stone thing, right? And then it's like, they're gonna go and try to stop Voldemort. And if it was Neville who, if Neville got his way, honestly, if he got his way, and prevented them from going, Voldemort would have came back a lot sooner. And they try to explain to that little bastard that things are gonna go astray if they don't stop Voldemort. Which they assumed it was, you know, Snape and all that stuff, but they later find out it wasn't. So, yeah. So there's that. So, yeah. Technically, like, Neville Longbottom's worthless. Technically. And the Remember All, I think there was more lore to the Remember All and stuff like that. I haven't got around to reading that book in a while. So, yeah. Voldemort. How does he do it? Wow. Every room item is red, except for like one item or something like that. Or if there's one item that doesn't look, it's not like majority of red, but they put it in there just to put it in there. You know what I'm saying? Do I really want to go to Hush though? This is kind of a torturous act. And I'm just eat up all my keys just to eat up all my keys. I might just skip it. But your points. You may get the first place. I'll never get the first place. Never. The only way I would have got the first place is when Repentance first came out. I got up the crack acid dawn. That would have been the biggest advantage I would have. Because everybody would be starting the same level. There was no, like, early access, man. Nah, everybody got the game the same time and everything. I'd probably have better luck on the Xbox version because it'd be a lot less competition. And like, and another thing too, it's like the sorting hat, right? I get the idea. Oh, I want to be with this group of people and talk with them at night and da da da. I want to be in Gryffindor, not Slytherin or whatever. Look. It's kind of like, they're kind of like dorms, right? Where they're staying at. So they're not completely boned. If not seeing each other ever again. No, they can see each other again. Not as often, but you know. I mean, they have classes anyways, too. I mean, essentially like a college, sort of. Or a private school, I don't know. Point being, who cares if they go to Slytherin? I mean, if one of them did, like Harry. It's like, oh, I'm gonna have to be with this jerk that wants to make fun of, you know, poor non-magic folk and stuff like that. Duh, woohoo. I mean, you're thinking this is like some adversary thing, but you're all students of the school. You're all supposed to be getting along, for God's sake. Not fight like children. I mean, they are children, I guess, but I suppose they could fight like children. Fight like hell. Of course, you see that later on, or nearly killing Malfoy. But anyways, I get it. It's supposed to be a sense of honor, and then like, yeah, Harry's whatever father or something like that was in Gryffindor, and and it's supposed to be for representing the honorary and the bravery, and so because Harry, Ron, and Hermione fit that kind of, you know, subset of stuff. I get it. But oh, that's just hot freaking garbage. I'll tell you what, Bobby. Taste the heat and not the meat. Uh-oh. There we go. Wow, Curse the Tower card, huh? It's like as if I don't have Curse of the Tower, huh? Like, if I was sorted into the whatever house, like, right? It's just like, okay. I mean, I guess you could say, like, well, kids like competition and they like to, you know, fight amongst one another. Yeah, I suppose. I guess I'm looking under, like, the lens of an adult, I guess. But, it shouldn't change the fact that they all have to get along. Yeah, it's friendly competition stuff, yeah, I suppose. With, like, of course, you know, Quidditch and all this other stuff. But, you know, it really didn't matter too much. You know why? I'm going to just keep spoiling things here, so just kind of keep this in mind. Not out of spite of any of you guys, it's just... It's kind of like writing a research paper, right? You just kind of like bring up this point. Here's an example of how this can be by this point. And here's a source. So here's the source. So it doesn't really matter too much with the competition because in the last book or last movie, all of Hogwarts are united with one another to go fight against the Dark Lord that's trying to break in the castle and kill students, right? That's the whole dealio. All that competition, especially when Snape was like a headmaster there the last year and stuff like that, and things were like basically a communist regime. And Snape was like a dictator there, and a bunch of other draconian rules are being made after Dumbledore gets killed. They all just like fight to defend Hogwarts. It's essentially it. They want to stand up and fight. Well, I mean, it wasn't like initially going on, duh, but like later on, it did. Of course, there was something about the Slytherin house being escorted to dungeons, which I guess they just left it to die, maybe. I don't know. Hey, look at that! Amazing. Oh, I guess. No, your points. If you buy more items and you spend more of your money, then you're not going to win. I'm going to win. I'm just not going to win in the way that I'm going to win. Haha. Besides, I need that damage. I need that deep pockets. I need all that stuff. Well, probably not so much the deep pockets, but or the battery, or the soon, the suck. Yeah, I know, I get it. Friendly competition is supposed to represent the house of whatever, you know, House of Ravenclaw and all these other ones. Yeah, the legacy, and yeah, I know, like, even some of the family members are tied to the different ones, the different houses, and so it's appropriate for them to get their kids into the right house rather than the wrong one. I get that. It's like, you know, choosing a sports team, right? A national sports team like football or baseball or soccer, which they also call it football in other places. I'm gonna call it football for my sake, so I don't confuse it. I mean, I'm gonna call football soccer, as in like soccer being, you know, soccer, not soccer football from overseas. And football is foosball, you know what I mean? Tomato. Okay, now next floor. I get that. It's like, oh, wow, because I went to this, you know, school and all that, I mean, I can cheer on this kind of school because that's my school team. I get it. Just like the Quidditch stuff and all that. Yeah, I get it. Or like, I am this, or I'm part of the school, high school, and they got this mascot, so I had to root for this team because that's heresy if I go against my own school team, In all honesty's sake, with something like that, it's like, well, I never went to a single, like, high school football game, whatever kind of game, basketball game, stuff like that. In all seriousness. Even in college, too. When I was in college, never went to any of that during college. Swear. I mean, I'm not really big on sports, so I imagine I'd be like, if I was like a kid from Harry Potter or something like that, and I go to Hogwarts, and I'd be like the only kid, really, not gonna go see Quidditch. Well, maybe not never, because I mean, how often do you see someone flying on a freaking broomstick? Wowzers! Golly gee willikers, how do you get up so high? Holy crap. I seen a meme about, like, basically talking about the Nimbus 2000 the Harry got, which is like this really speedy, fast, well-designed, like, broomstick. It has like all these advantages over everybody else. Very expensive broomstick, I guess. It's the meme was like talking about like how it was like basically a pay to win. And I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. The pay to win. Sure, let's just see if the Bible comes back again. And I got Seraphim, so joke's on them. I don't need that cup to fly anymore. Didn't really need flight that much anyways. Oh, this room. All right. We're good. But I mean, yeah, it's true. It's like, hey, look at that. I'm on a roll tonight. Jelly roll. Oh, bird's eye. I love that smiley pepper, that little sarcastic pepper. Yeah, I mean, it's like, here's what I don't get. Just throwing this out there, like, Harry has all this money, right? This wad of cash that the parents inherit him. And Professor McGonagall is what I assume from the film. I think it was like that in the movie too. But dead dove. But Harry that Nimbus 2000. And Harry had just had all that money, like, it just inherited to him. And like, she's like, oh no, Harry, you don't need to pay all that money out for this expensive broomstick. Here you go. I like how she just like give it to him and like nobody else. Assuming that's what she did. She never like give gifts to anybody else. It's like, frick you, man. It's like, here you go, Harry. Here's one of the fastest broomsticks around, and it's gonna give you an unfair advantage. But it's technically fair because, you know, it's a broomstick. I were to get you the upgraded version, were to give you the nitrous. I'm a little cheap for that. The damn thing called 20 G's and just smash his neck in a bunch of different ways. Make him the jelly. Oh no, that's not how that works in the wizardry world. Remember when his arm went old jelly when he fell off his broom and broke his arm in different places? Yeah, but another thing too is like he had all that money inherited too, and then he's like, he goes on the, he takes something off the trolley off the train. He's like, I'm gonna take the lot, which I think it said take the lot or take a lot, and I sound like take the lot, which is like a British term for like, I don't know. I'm gonna take quite a bit of these things. I don't know. Or I'm gonna take the whole trolley and let the other kids starve. Oh yes, let me use my inherited money to buy, in front of this acquaintance I just met, a bunch of candy for him and I to pig out on and fuck the other kids. Fuck them and their need for sweets. I'm gonna buy the whole damn train. I'm gonna, you know, that's what he should have done. Just like, you know what? I hate the shit out of all of you. I'm gonna buy this entire train and kick you all out and ride by myself to Hogwarts. Just kick him out of the middle of a fucking field. Out of bumfuck nowhere. Deal with it. I'm the boy who freaking lived. I owe nothing to you fuckers. I've seen some stuff that I can't really recall really a whole lot. I lived through some shit. Even though I was just told, like, just days before about what happened to my parents and everything else, But now I feel like I'm more entitled. I don't want to live with the Dursleys anymore, treated like garbage. I'm threatening to not eat for a week if I misbehave. Any meals for a week, huh? Get enough water? No! I mean, you could say that Harry got kind of a little bit more of a shit in the stick than, like, say, Neville or something, but because of that dynamic. But, yeah, remember, people treated Neville like a piece of shit, too, so. And he's poor. Keep that in mind. That I can recall anyway from the lore. I think they were just as poor as the Weasleys, which the Weasleys are their own kind of special poor, I guess. It must be a Weasley. Sure. I'll go with that, I guess. It must be a mudblood. A mud who? Someone who's part human. Someone who's part human. Better than being a shape-shifting lizard, man. Or not human, you know, they're like non-magic folk, but... Well, they're their own species, I guess, right? Talk about muggles and like non-magic folk, and it's like... It's supposed to be a type of like inbreeding and everything going on with that, I guess. Great deal more if you stand up to your friends. Okay, Dumbledore. That's cool. That's cool you could say that. Seems like it's less honorable to stand up against yourself, for yourself, for someone picking on you and putting freaking curses on you, than there is to like, you know, that's what it sounds like. This Dumbledore is like, oh, you did a good thing trying to stop them from trying to stop Voldemort from returning sooner, Neville. Here's like 60 points for Gryffindor. Oh, the times that you wanted to stand up for yourself? Or like, imagine you did stand up for yourself, then what? It's like... It's just gonna be ignored. Just like, that it wasn't honorable, Neville. Nobody gives a shit about you. Truly. Because... Dumbledore probably say that matter-of-factly in the Great Hall with everybody giggling at him. Yeah, you're worthless, Neville. We hate you, Neville. Just roasting him and bullying him. Yeah, Neville. It just like straight up, like, what if he just like stood up for himself long before that whole thing goes down, and they don't give him like any recognition? It's like, no, Neville, you're not that worthy, but at least you were worthy enough to try to protect Harry and his friends. Their lives mean much more better than yours, especially since I have to use Harry Potter's cannon fodder for the future after I'm gone. Right when everything's starting to collapse around us. Among Us. Oh, we won that run. I got hit a lot. I bought things I shouldn't have in this game. What do we have here? I bet, yeah, I bet that was gonna happen. Wow, 1,172 second place. Wow, that's amazing. Hand that in my fridge. Be like, I did that. I did that. And I'll be like the only one looking at it. I'm just pointing that to myself every morning. See that? I did that. I got that score. Anyways, I think that'll do it for tonight, though, for reals. I got to get up in the morning. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.